Hey, welcome back everybody. It's May 19th, just after 9 a.m. I'm back here in the bee yard because I'm helping out a buddy who caught a swarm about a month ago, and he has left that swarm in the swarm trap the entire time. So I have everything prepped. I have a 10 frame prepared with 6 new frames and foundation. I'm not sure how many frames are in the swarm trap, but we'll figure that out here in a second. I have not looked or opened up the swarm trap at all, so let's take a look at his swarm and see how they're doing after being in the swarm trap for a month. Real quick, the rule of thumb is to move bees 2 feet or 2 miles. I don't know if that's entirely true. I'm sure there's some truth behind it, but the swarm I caught earlier this month was about 20 to 30 yards from where they're currently at, and that was the video that I posted yesterday, the follow-up video after I moved them into the 10 frame for a week. So they're staying put, they're building that colony pretty strong, so not too sure if there's truth behind it, but just trying to help out a friend. He lives about 3 miles from me, so these bees should adapt pretty well to their new home. And as you can see, they are still stuck in their swarm trap here. I haven't taken it off the front just because I'm going to open it up and transfer them. So let's take a look how these bees are doing. All right, here we go. So they seem pretty healthy, pretty packed in there. I am sure they are eager to get out of that box. Oh yeah. It's probably a pretty good size. So we got 4 frames, that's good. Alright, very first frame, just looks like some nectar. Yeah, just a whole bunch of nectar in there. So we're going to put that in number 2's position. Frame number 2 to the right, some nice capped brood and spun larvae and eggs, if the camera can pick up on it. We got eggs all throughout there. There we go. So that'll go in number 4's position, almost in the middle. 5 will be a new frame. Frame number 3 out of the swarm. I don't have my flashlight handy, but I can see some spun larvae to the left. So I'm making the assumption there's eggs around that as well. Some comb on the bottom, which is pretty typical. I mean, that's what I experienced as well from my swarm, but I'll just scrape that off and set it aside. So that'll go in number 6's position. And this is pretty interesting. So the backside of frame 4, they're just building out some, they're just building out some comb. And probably because of the spacing, I don't want to mess with this too much because it has eggs and brood. But yeah, because of the spacing, it's a pretty pretty odd. It's a pretty odd thing to me. I've never seen anything like that before. So they built the comb off of the frame as well as on the frame. So I'm just gonna let that be and kind of see how things work out over time. So I'll have to grab another frame from one of the nukes. And the camera is sitting on the nuke that I need. So here's a quick look inside the box. It's not a 40-liter box like mine are, so it didn't have as much space underneath each deep frame, which is probably why they didn't build up as much comb as mine did. But it's a pretty strong looking colony. And here we go. That's frame 10, so they are in a 10 frame. All right, it's as simple as that. Transferring bees from a swarm trap into a 10 frame box. So we'll box this one up, put the inner cover on, put our telescoping outer cover, and there you go. All right, yeah, so I'll be out here next week to conduct a few inspections, but I'll make a separate video for the 1 week follow-up since transferring this swarm into a 10 frame, just like I did for mine. Nothing's better than having friends that keep bees relatively close to where you live so you can help each other out. All right, so check back next week. I'll post a follow-up video to see how much they've expanded into the checkerboarded frames. So that was a 4 frame swarm trap. So just like mine, there's 6 brand new frames in the 10 frame. And let's take a quick look at the front. Starting to orientate themselves to their new home, which is always a good thing. And since there's a good amount of bees left in the swarm trap and on the cover, I'm just gonna leave it open right here so they can find their new home. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Check back next week and I'll post the follow-up video to see how this swarm's doing.